Welcome back to Kaulignation, your one-stop shop for all things Kaulig Racing, Dingernation, SVGNation, and all things NASCAR. Also, your home to the Ramming is Racing NASCAR podcast. Our topics for this video: NASCAR Insights has a rather wild prediction in terms of SVG this weekend at Worldwide Technology Raceway. The Haas switch is official. They're on their way to Chevrolet, and how that deeply impacts Kaulig Racing and points towards their future. And Eckes, pressure's on. Let's dive into it. Our multiple choice question for this video is, where do you think SVG will finish this weekend at WWT Raceway or Gateway or St. Louis or whatever you want to call it? Do you think it'll be a top 10, a top 20, a top 30, or worse? Comment down below and share your thoughts there. We're going to tell you what NASCAR Insights predicted he would finish a little later on in this video. NASCAR Insights is an official program run by NASCAR using all their various statistical information to predict outcomes. Also, big shout out to all of our patrons who support the channel. You can get bonus content through us over at patreon.com/Kaulignation. The link is in the description below. And big thank you to all of you who have been taking the time to click the thumbs up button on our videos. It has shown in the last few videos. You've taken that extra time to slash the button. We thank you. We ask you to continue to do that and continue to leave comments and or multiple comments, and we will get back to as many people as we possibly can. It really helps us against a very unfair YouTube algorithm. And if you guys could keep doing that, we would appreciate the support. All right, let's get into it. Connor Zilisch at the end of the Portland race was, he went into turn one hard, but not hard enough to where he would overshoot the corner. And for whatever reason, the off-track rules for Portland don't require you to come for a complete stop, but rather go to the outside of the chicanes and re-enter onto the track that way. And when you're not heavy braking to slow down into one, you can actually get an advantage by doing that. It's some very video game-like nonsense. Connor knew he was going to get hit into turn one. I'm not saying he didn't deserve to win. He was by far the most dominant car at Portland. But when you're slowing down, but you're not slowing down enough to have brake lock up, and guys are piling into turn one, that doesn't mean that's a right away for you to go off track, go around the chicanes, and come back in with a bigger lead than you had before. To me, that's nonsense. And while it might not officially be cheating, it's about as cheap as it gets. Comment down below and share your thoughts there. I've never seen Shane Van Gisbergen or AJ Allmendinger do such things. And ultimately, it's on NASCAR for not enforcing rules better or even having better rules. The pressure is on Christian Eckes this weekend. It has been a up and down season. He's had highs, he's had lows. He has to win this weekend at WWT to qualify for the Xfinity playoffs. Same goes for Daniel Dye. Daniel Hemrick returns to the 11 car for Kaulig. Look, Christian Eckes is awesome at Gateway. He's got 3 second-place finishes in the Truck Series. The question is, can he get up there and get the car into contention to have a shot late? We will watch with great interest. Obviously, we thought Christian would make the playoffs this year, and it's looking like he might not, but he's got one more chance to punch his ticket. Also, the newest episode of the Kaulig and Trackhouse Nation podcast is out on Patreon, where we discuss Connor Zilisch versus SVG next year in the Cup Series. We also dive into what the Kaulig and RCR relationship looks like with everything that's gone down recently. And the newest episode of Ramming is Racing, the NASCAR podcast, is up on our Patreon, where we talk about SVG at Darlington a little more in depth. We talk about if SVG is going to run more races for Junior Motorsports next year, and we dive into all things Kaulig Racing, Ram, and trucks. All that's available over on our Patreon. You can sign up today. It's affordable. We would appreciate the support. Patreon.com/Kaulignation. All right, Haas is officially making the move to Chevy. It's been a rumor. It was put out there. Freddie Kraft nails another one, and that switch is going to happen. Haas is not only making the move to Chevy in Cup, but they will be making this move to Chevy in Xfinity, leaving the Siegs is really the only viable forward option down there. And they're going to run Hendrick Motorsports engines, and they will have a technical alliance with Hendrick Motorsports. So some big-time moves with some big-time Chevy support, and the writing is on the wall here. While Kaulig and Ram / Stellantis may not have officially announced that they're going to Dodge, everyone knows it's coming. I've only heard one reporter say that they didn't know if it would come or not. Everyone else is on the same wavelength. It's just a matter if it'll be 2027 or 2028. For their sake, I hope it's 2027 because Haas has moved to Chevrolet with the backing that they're getting. Not only affects Kaulig and Cup, but in Xfinity, and they definitely fall down the pecking order in both. That's not theory. That's just a matter of fact. Bring on Dodge. The sooner, the better. And NASCAR Insights have a brutal prediction for SVG at WWT. You know, for me, I sit here and I go, yeah, SVG has never raced at Gateway or WWT or St. Louis or whatever you want to call the track. And I do think that that will play a factor. And I don't think sim is the end all and be all of what you can end up doing in a race. I think you need to physically be at a track to really get the grasp of it. But sim helps some. Sim helps you get some preparation for what you're doing. And come playoff time, the playoff drivers get substantially more sim than they do during the regular season. So it's not like SVG is going into this thing blind. He's going into it with his eyes open, and he knows that he has to have a good race. He was 16 or 17 points up on the cut line, and now he's only 3. Not having a good race isn't an option. And again, I think in terms of his strengths, the fact that you have to shift multiple times, even though it's an oval, that there's heavy braking because of the tightness of the turns, I think plays into SVG's favor. It's just going to be a matter if he can figure out the rhythm of that in quick order, or if he doesn't figure it out till closer to the end of the race. And yet, you look at what NASCAR Insights did, an official NASCAR statistical program that tries to predict where guys are going to finish every week. They have SVG predicted to finish 34th. 34th, people! I cannot believe the disrespect on SVG's name for that. You know, I think he has earned more benefit of the doubt to figure things out in a somewhat quickly manner. And I think 34th is not fair at all. The article went out to point out AJ Allmendinger's success there. AJ, a couple years ago, didn't get practice, didn't get qualifying, had to start at the back of the pack. And I think he finished 7th. He was very, very good there. And if AJ can do it, I don't see why. Again, AJ has way more oval experience than SVG. And SVG isn't on AJ's level in terms of ovals, but he's shown great strides this year. I think predicting SVG to finish 34th, and this, again, from an official NASCAR thing, is a slap in the face, and I hope that it lights a fire under the 88 team's ass to make up for last week's poor performance. But boy, I don't think credit is being given where it's deserved there when you predict them to finish 34th. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, turn notifications to all to keep up with all of our content. Big thank you to our patrons and our sponsors, Lynn over at SVGNation, Alex over at Dingernation, and we will see each and every one of you in the next video.